Money FM 89.3, best of the breakfast huddle.
So we have been kind of talking about this whole stay-at-home situation and how you see this year a complete shift where stay-at-home stocks have been doing well, and one stay-at-home stock in a sense is people becoming a gamer, mobile games.
I wish I tried doing that. The last video game I played was Atari. Okay, you weren't born yet?
No. I had an Atari.
Space Invader with a joystick
that
was very hard to use.
Again, I have to remind you, we're not dead. It's a happy and sad thing to talk about.
But having said that, there are a lot of opportunities in the whole work from home, stay at home.
Right,
you just need to find it. And I think mobile gaming, as you said, is an opportunity for brands as well to connect with consumers.
Oh, you're absolutely right, man. In fact, according to a report by NewZoo, the global mobile gaming market is projected to be worth $174 billion by next year.
I remember doing a story on gaming before, and it was a bigger industry than Hollywood.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So mobile gaming could be as well. 49%, in fact, of that revenue you mentioned, the $174 billion by 2021, is here in the Asia-Pacific region. And Southeast Asia alone projected to have more than 250 million mobile gamers by 2021.
Amazing. We've already seen major brands like Coca-Cola and Ford invest heavily in mobile gaming, making advertisers not embracing the demographic diversity and the sheer size of the market. They risk falling behind because they don't embrace it.
Yeah. Many of the early adopting brands also look at mobile gaming as a new social media in terms of the opportunity to engage with consumers at a scale.
So let's talk about how big the opportunity to advertise is in the mobile gaming world and why some advertisers are still not open to the idea of advertising on a mobile game. On the line with us this morning is Tom Simpson, who's the Senior Vice President of Asia Pacific at AdColony. Tom, good morning. How are you?
Hey, I'm here.
Hey, Tom. Good to hear from you. All right. We're talking about advertising in mobile games. My gosh. And I understand that AdColony provides quality mobile advertising and a marketing platform as well. Could you tell us a little bit more about the company and, I don't know, maybe some of the campaigns that you've done?
Yeah, I mean, we can touch on that quickly, but I think, talking about mobile games in general is probably a bit more exciting. But I mean, AdColony we're the largest mobile game advertising platform globally. We reach 1.5 billion consumers across the world. We reach around 800 million across Asia Pacific. We work with major brands such as Unilever, Coca-Cola to help them deliver advertising to consumers across a range of different mobile games. And I just caught you talking about your friend with his big gaming setup. So I think there's a really interesting kind of distinction between mobile games and mobile games. Almost everybody plays mobile games. When we look at Asia Pacific, we see 80% of consumers with a mobile game on their phone. Versus your friend, who sounds like a hardcore gamer.
Okay, Tom, what is a mobile game then? Because I'm listening to you now, and I don't think I have a mobile game on my phone, but maybe I do. What is a mobile game in your definition?
Okay, well, you are definitely in the minority, as I said.
I'm not sure, but, I might have. So let me know what it is, and I'll let you know if I have a mobile game on my phone.
I'd be amazed if you don't even have one mobile game. I mean, seriously, 80% of consumers have got a mobile game. So a mobile game is an app, so a mobile gaming app. So Candy Crush, we see lots of people playing Fortnite or League of Legends. I mean, these are the classic mobile games.
I'm in the minority then when it comes to mobile gaming.
Tom, would you say that even if I were to take part in some kind of like one of those Facebook app games, that's also considered a small level of mobile gaming, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's mobile gaming. Yeah, and we see lots of consumers playing across all types of platforms. But broadly, apps on mobile phones, that's where we see the biggest usage.
Okay, so what are the opportunities then, Tom, in terms of mobile gaming for advertisers?
Well, I mean, I think, first of all, it's interesting to look at the size of the gaming industry. So, overall, gaming is a $170 billion industry. And Of that, mobile gaming is about half of it, so about $80 billion globally, and about half of that revenue is in Asia Pacific. For context, the global movie box office last year was 42 billion. I don't think global movie box office this year is going to be anywhere near 42 billion.
Yeah, it is.
We're not allowed to go to movies at the moment, but I think so gaming is a massive, massive industry. Hits so many consumers, and I think when we see consumers on their phones, smartphone penetration is now 85%. So most people have smartphones. When we see people on their smartphones, they are doing one of two things. They are either messaging friends and playing around on social, maybe watching some snackable videos, different kind of social activities, or they are playing mobile games. They will jump out to do things. Maybe they'll order a Grab or, go and edit some photos or something like that. But broadly, in terms of big time sinks, they are either social or mobile games. And so we know that brands spend loads of money advertising on social. It's why Facebook and Google are two of the biggest companies globally, right? Massive, massive businesses, because brands put loads of money into advertising. At the moment, and, historically, I'd say up until really this year, brands haven't quite got their head around the amount of time that consumers are spending in mobile games, and they haven't put money into advertising within mobile games. So, fundamentally, that is the big opportunity for brands, is kind of understanding the amount of consumer attention that exists within mobile games, understanding that right now it's underpriced because other brands haven't quite got their heads around it, and and kind of diving in there and using mobile games to connect with consumers. Huge opportunity.
Speaking of the consumers you're trying to connect to on mobile gaming, what about the attention span? I'm just thinking here that if somebody is playing something, you don't want to be disrupted by seeing a mobile ad, would you?
Yeah, no, completely. So, and that's a really, really good point. But it's kind of the way that mobile game advertising works is, so we deliver rewarded advertising. So you guys know what rewarded advertising is?
No. Explain.
Sounds exciting, eh? So the mechanic is a consumer is playing a mobile game and they reach a point where they have run out of lives or there is an in-game item that they really want, and they are offered the choice of you can either pay to get more coins, more lives, to get this in-game item that you really want. Maybe it's a new skin or something cool like that. Or you can watch a video from a brand and we will give it to you for free. So it's, it's a natural break point within the game. So you're not being kind of, it's not stopping the gameplay. It's a natural break point. Okay. But the really crucial part of it is that it's about choice. The consumer doesn't have to watch the ads. They can choose to pay for the thing that they want. And any of you, I don't know if you have anybody out there who's got kids or is in a relationship will know the difference between kind of, telling somebody to do something and giving somebody a choice, even if the choice is a bit of an illusion, but huge difference.
So the choice benefits the advertiser in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so the advertiser is kind of, you don't have to watch this ad. Whereas, think about the mechanic on something like YouTube. You want to watch your video and you've got to watch the ad beforehand. It's like, oh my God, I've got to watch this. This is, you can skip after 5 seconds. Yeah, so you can skip after 5 and then you don't watch the ad. But the difference with mobile gaming is you have that choice. So the consumer comes to your brand in so much more of a positive frame of mind than maybe they do in other advertising forms.
Right. We're speaking with Tom Simpson, who's SVP at Asia Pacific AdColony. Tom, I'm curious also, because earlier you were talking about, people not jumping on board, advertisers not jumping on board the whole mobile game advertising bandwagon. Is there a misconception in terms of demographic? For example, advertisers tend to think that mobile gamers are of a younger demographic, so, my product really won't reach them. That's not true in this day and age, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. There are some absolutely classic conceptions out there around the type of people that play mobile games. I think the first level of this is fundamentally anything that has a kind of 85% market reach.
Right.
It's not we're not really thinking of people who play mobile games as gamers. I mean, it's the same as calling you, because you watch TV, calling you a TV watcher. I mean, it just, once it reaches just doesn't make any sense. They're kind of talking about gamers in itself is a bit of a stereotype. These are people who just play mobile games in the same way as you watch TV or, drink water.
So very casual.
Yeah, totally. But I think there are some more interesting stereotypes out there, and I think the big one that we see is, as you said, that idea that the gamer is a teenage boy sitting in his bedroom. Yeah. And that is absolutely fundamentally not true. In fact, it's the opposite. On mobile games across Asia Pacific, we see 51% of consumers who play mobile games are female. And I think I've seen many of them in public transport, clicking things on their phone. They're probably playing a game. They are, absolutely. And I think, I'm going to call it out for what it is. Do you mind?
Go ahead.
I think it's sexist. I think it is a sexist. I think it's a toxic stereotype. And I think in an era where, brands and, all of us in society are thinking more and more about diversity, I think those kind of stereotypes, they're not great. And it's just, it's demonstrably not true. So I think that's a really, really interesting one. And it's one that, that we think about a lot, and how to help, I guess, brands and marketers understand that really, it's females game as much as guys.
So would it be fair to say that an unconscious or subconscious sexist or stereotype is preventing advertisers from gaining a larger reach? I mean, is it cheaper to advertise on mobile games?
In terms of a cost, the cost per attention for consumers, there's definitely an alpha there for advertising within mobile games. I think it's tough to say that, it's a toxic stereotype holding us all back. I'm saying that in a light way because I think it's fun, and I think it's something that we can play with, and we can look at the numbers and we can just so easily see. I mean, some of the biggest gaming demographics from mobile gaming are mums.
I was about to say that, like a middle-aged, well, not all moms are middle-aged, but I've seen women clicking things on their phone, wondering why they're so into doing what they're doing. Yeah. Perhaps they are gaming.
Yeah, totally. Well, I bet they are.
My future mother-in-law is still vigorously playing Candy Crush. I don't know, stage 1000, don't know what already.
There are still so many Candy Crush players across Asia Pacific. That game will never die.
It is true.
I've never tried it.
Would you consider, I've recently, for fun, just played this new app where you can face swap, put your face on a celebrity's face.
Okay, but would you call that a game?
Would you call that a game? Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is obviously an area where gaming sort of, moves over into other functionalities like AR, VR, that kind of thing. I think, gaming as a platform is about more than just, playing puzzle games like Candy Crush. It is about interactivity, it's about engagement, it's about having fun. So, in that sense, then, yeah, definitely, those face swap apps, they're completely games.
So my mom editing videos, travel videos on her mobile phone is... Maybe she's her way of
some
gaming,
level of gamification. Amazing. Tom, to wrap up, how will a game being ad-free, for example, affect mobile game advertisers? I mean, I'm sure there will be people who try to disrupt.
Yeah, and I think broadly the trend is that we're actually seeing most games moving towards a mixed monetization model. Okay. So, most gaming publishers make their money from two main sources, and actually it's not the upfront price of the game. Mm-hmm. That's a kind of 10 years ago model. The model these days in terms of making, the reason that gaming is 4 times the size of global movie box office is because it's either about in-app purchase or about advertising. So in-app purchase is, when you're playing Fortnite and you want a new skin, a new outfit, something like that, so that you look different to your friends. And it's a way of signifying that you are a participant in the game. It's a way of saying, hey, I'm a bit cool. And most of the in-app purchase, it often doesn't have anything to do with improving gameplay or improving your ability to win the game. It really is about kind of showing off and, you know, and looking cool and having fun within a game. But, you know, but then many publishers will bake in some sort of ad monetization model as well. And especially, I mean, with the rise of, with 5G coming up, I mean, connectivity is getting even faster. And where we expect to see games going and monetization going is, you guys ever heard the term the metaverse?
Sounds like a comic book term, you know.
There you go.
Tell us more.
Okay, so we're getting super deep here. The metaverse is basically when the machines take over and we all become their...
oh, gosh, Tom, come on.
But I mean, seriously, the metaverse is where we spend time playing within games and we actually hang out there. So what you're seeing in Fortnite is during the pandemic, people have been releasing movies. Hollywood movie studios have been releasing movies within Fortnite. So people going into the game to sit in a virtual movie theater within Fortnite and watch a movie. There have been big rap stars having concerts within Fortnite. So you go into the game and you hang out. You're not going there just to play the game. You're going there to hang out, watch Travis Scott, who's a big US rap star, and just spend time. So that's the metaverse, when actually it's a virtual space where we actually hang out and spend time doing stuff. And it's persistent, it's always there. We dip into it and then we come back into the real world. So really, when you think of that as being the end point and enabled by 5G, then monetization in games becomes, I mean, could you sell popcorn if you're a virtual movie kind of showing within a game? Lots of opportunity.
Oh, Ready Player One is going to be real.
There you go. Yeah, totally.
We've been speaking with Tom Simpson, the Senior Vice President, Asia Pacific at AdColony. Tom, thank you so much for taking the time. Take care and stay safe, yeah?
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Great fun.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at moneyfm893.sg or download the SPH radio app available on Google Play or the App Store.